Hello and welcome to another episode of the Explore podcast series. Today, we sit down with Mr. Ravi Shekar, the founder of Terra X, a homegrown fashion tech brand that pioneers performance-driven apparel and footwear made from sustainable, bio-based materials. From rethinking traditional materials to creating eco-friendly designs that do not compromise on comfort or durability, Ravi is reshaping the world's perspective on conscious fashion. We explore his journey, what sparked the creation of Terra X, the science behind sustainable performance wear, and the future of fashion in a world increasingly defined by climate responsibility. This conversation combines entrepreneurship, design thinking, sustainability, and purpose through the lens of a founder dedicated to building for the planet and the next generation. Ravi, let's start with a quick rapid fire round, shall we?
Absolutely, yes.
All right. So first question is, sneakers or barefoot walking? What's your go-to?
Sneakers.
All right. Since you're a sneaker man, that makes sense. Right. Beach or mountains?
Mountains.
Mountains. And any particular...
It is much more peaceful.
Okay. Yeah. No, not a particular reason. I meant like a particular destination.
About anywhere is good.
Okay. But any particular one in India, just like, again...
then it had to be Alps.
Okay. Yeah. Right. One word that describes Terra X's mission.
Originality.
Right. Okay. Favorite ingredient or material that you've used in Terra X products?
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms?
Yes.
Right. So that's a pretty new thing that I've heard that's come up in a shoe.
We actually failed more than 80 times before we were able to synthesize the right recipe to convert a mushroom into a fabric.
Right. So fail until you succeed.
Absolutely, yes.
Right. City life or nature trail, which fits your vibe the most?
Nature trail.
Right. And again, any particular hike or trek that you've been on?
Not so particular, but in general, if you take a natural trail or a hike, you are within, the trees, right?
Right.
You are basically letting yourself go of those city noises. And then you can reconnect back to nature and see how, from past 3.5-4 billion years, how nature has evolved.
Correct.
All those recipes, all of those ingredients are there for you to go ahead and synthesize.
Correct.
And it helps you think and rethink what nature can actually do.
Correct. Yeah. So just sort of taking a break from the hustle and bustle of your normal routine and then getting into nature.
That is true. And you can always head to nature for inspiration.
Correct. Right. Yes. And then being a sustainable brand that takes natural ingredients, you would find inspiration from nature itself, right? Maybe in one of those trails that you...
Absolutely. If you look into spiders, right? Spiders' web is one of the most strongest fibers, natural fibers, right?
Correct.
So it's about how well you harness those materials.
Correct.
And you bring it to a regular use so that the impact that we currently do after producing sneakers is the least.
Okay. That's a good insight. Okay. What was the first thing that you prototyped at Terra X?
We made 1 inch by 1 inch raw material from mushrooms.
Okay.
And it was a start. So that was the first success that we actually achieved in Terra X.
Right.
And moving from there, it went into footwear range.
Okay. So that 1 by 1 inch square piece that you made, is that used in the sole part of the shoe or in the upper layer?
That's actually used in the upper part of the shoe.
Okay.
So it resembles a synthetic material.
Okay.
Looks like that.
Okay.
Feels like leather. But the composition is roughly 98% bio-based.
Oh, okay. Yes. That's great. Okay, since we're on the topic of sneakers, I'll just ask you this question. What is the best sneaker according to you of all time?
I'm a particular fan of, Nikes.
Okay.
I think Nike Air Max was one of the original ideas that actually existed in the market.
Right.
So I'll go with that.
Okay. Any particular model in that, or just the whole? You're a fan of the whole line?
I think the whole line is.
Okay. That's a great answer. Again, your go-to shoe brand apart from Terra X, of course.
It should be either Nike or SX.
Okay. The two OG ones, as if you would like to put it.
Yes.
Right. We just had a conversation before of how Phil Knight, how he started his whole career.
That is true.
Right. Last question in the rapid fire segment.
Sure.
What's the fashion capital of the world for you, and what is India's fashion capital as well?
I think I'll go with Milan.
Okay.
Right. The reason is the storytelling that the Italians do and the kind of craftsmanship and the tech it goes behind. And you can see by the density of fashion brands coming out of Italy.
Right.
So I think a lot of original ideas they evolved from Italy.
Okay.
And then went to different capitals like either in Paris or in New Delhi or in New York or in Tokyo.
Right.
But I will keep Milan as the capital.
Fulcrum of it.
Absolutely. Yes.
Right. And for India, what do you
India,
think?
I think is quite diverse. I think I would any day would bent on taking Mumbai, but I think I come from Bangalore, so Bangalore is the one.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. Right. So now let's get down to your journey and what Terra X is all about.
Absolutely.
So the next few questions will be based on that.
Yes.
So the first question is, what inspired you to start Terra X, and why did you focus on eco-friendly, bio-based fashion and footwear?
I come from a footwear manufacturing industry. So I started my career with footwear manufacturing, where we used to manufacture for outsourced brand. So they used to place orders to us. We used to manufacture for them and then source it back to their warehouses. Post my masters, I shifted my career towards the front end, which is marketing and branding. So it gave me a whole perspective of how actually the footwear industry moves.
Right.
And Terra X actually came into being with just one goal in mind, which was to make products that works for you and the planet.
Right.
Not just putting any let's say a jargon behind it, but an original, authentic approach.
Okay.
Right. So what if natural materials give you similar benefits or performance-driven benefits as a synthetic material?
Right.
Right. Then you as a customer will have an option to switch. Right. So this was primary motive, plus the industry. If you look into industry, it's a $550 billion industry.
Right.
And sustainability is around $13 to $14 billion. It's growing at around 13%.
Okay.
So basically, the sustainable footwear industry is cannibalizing the overall footwear industry.
Overall footwear industry. Right.
So the growth is higher. Right? And if you take top 10 brands, their annual revenue is somewhere north of 2.5 billion.
Okay.
So there's still a 6.5x space for a new brands like us to go ahead and.
Right. So there's a wide gap that you identified.
Absolutely,
and then.
Yes. Customer wise and market wise.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Another question that I would like to ask is, how did you come up with the name Terra X?
Terra is actually, if you look into Latin, it means
terrain.
Land.
Right.
Terrain, right? And X is because X is the unknown, right?
Okay.
So would you be wearing a shoe that can only work on one kind of platform?
Okay.
Right? You would want a shoe that can work on tiles, can work on glass, right? So,
right.
If you combine both of them, plus it's easy to remember.
Right.
You have so many X's coming up, right? Space and and
so X could be like the variable sort of it.
Absolutely.
If
plus,
I may put it.
If you look into it, we wanted to put something which is also not just sustainable, but also a lot of tech is behind it.
Right.
So that X actually brings in that kind of element into the whole brand, how it sounds and resonates.
Right. Understood. You mentioned your earlier experience as well, while you were at the front end roles at your previous organizations.
Yeah.
How did that shape the way that you were building Terra X? Like, what did you do differently, or how did it, enhance your approach while you were building Terra X?
I have seen some very early initial stage brands like We Were Barefoot, where Mr. Gerhard Clark came to us, in China. Right, and I was building his Vivo Barefoot company. That time it was known as Terra Plana.
Okay.
So I saw how intricate, and how detailed his discussions were around the product, right? And once you work with the creative directors, the designers, the quality control guys, the factory people, you understand what actually goes inside the product. That's one part of it. You understand supply chain, right? What's the lead time, how and when it will be produced and go to their respective warehouses.
Right.
You understand customs duties. In the front end, when I did my masters, we had the chances to go ahead and explore different companies. Right. Nobody tells a better story than the Italians do. If you look into all the brands, craftsmanship, you have right kind of materials,
right,
and then you have a right storytelling.
Correct.
And this is how the whole economy is driven, right? So you pick points from different experiences, you join the dots, and then you are able to add something from your own behavioral and your own experiences, and then you understand where the product actually is going to go and fit into the market, right? You do a good pre-launch, you get a market validation that there's a demand, and then you move forward.
Right. So just building upon your experiences and then doing a little market research and seeing where the brand is headed or where you want to take it, right?
Yes.
So that's a...
See, you can always take a small decision based on where you can optimize the costs.
Correct.
For example, if it is about minimum quantities or if it is about lead times, we don't have to worry about it because we know exactly how much time it is going to take from one process to another.
Right.
So once you understand that, you eliminate most of the problems in between, and then you have a product which is acceptable and ready to go to market.
Right, and which it is, right? So yeah, what was the biggest challenge that you faced in the early days of Terra X, and how did you overcome it?
See, initially, it was when we started, it was all COVID. Lockdowns were there, and I think to travel to a particular production facility, it was extremely difficult.
Right.
Also, in those days, if you're thinking about bringing the team together and making them work together, because fashion is all about touch and feel. If you don't touch the materials, if you don't understand how it actually works in a production line or in a design aesthetics. So I think that phase got passed quite fast because what we did was, in that situation, we made the time frames or the frameworks on how things could actually work, right? Be it a manufacturing or supply chain or creating the e-commerce backend, right? We kept everything ready. We identified and scouted right partners, right? Be it the Tata Group or Continental or Breskam or ZQ. So you keep your, let's say, ammunition ready,
right?
And the war happens, you just fire it off.
Right. Yeah. So you keep your stock ready. You just be
you be
ready to strike at the right moment.
Absolutely, yes. Absolutely.
Right. Okay. Performance-driven sneakers or apparel from biomaterials. Can you walk us through what sets Terra X products apart from conventional fashion or footwear?
See, I mean, when you think about sustainable or natural materials, right? You think about cotton, jute, hemp, that we have heard generically, right?
Correct.
The biggest question that any customers used to ask us, when we were doing this pre-launch phase was, how can natural materials be durable?
Okay.
Right. What happens if it gets wet?
Right.
Right. And what happens, if I leave it, will it biodegrade by itself, or will it, just rust out? Right.
Right.
So when we were working initially, right, we were thinking how to differentiate.
Okay.
Right. Differentiation can be on the basis of designs, on the basis of outsole, where you can go and defend your patents on your design, right? But we worked on the materials first.
Okay.
Right? You work on the materials first, and we had one question: what if natural materials combined with performance? This means, for example, if it's a polyester-based footwear, and if it can last for, let's say, 3 years, can a natural-based material last for 3 years, or outdo it?
Right.
So you do a lot of iterations between it. So where we differentiate in Terra X is that we don't shout that we are plant-based and bio-based, material-based. First thing is, you look into the features and benefits.
Okay.
It's water repellent. The outsole can work on 10 different surfaces. It's anti-microbial, antibacterial. There is no odor. You can wear without socks.
Oh, okay.
Right. And after you are done using it, in 18 years, it goes back into nature.
Oh.
Right. So it's not about, because we are bio-based and plant-based, you should buy us.
Right.
What we are saying is, features and benefits will always come first for the customers.
Correct.
Pricing which is between 10 to 15% cheaper than your polyester shoes, and the discovery element is your plant-based.
Correct. So setting apart is what you focused on.
It should be original, and at any point of time, we don't intend to reduce the bio-based content to less than 95%.
Okay. So that's the benchmark that you
benchmark
at all times.
And even though we'll be making a slipper, even that slipper will have a features or benefit that my sales team can count upon and can explain very easily to a customer. Yes.
Right. So the customer would also have some expectations.
Absolutely.
While going forward and buying
design
any product.
design should not always, how it looks and feels.
Looks and feels. Correct.
Design has to work.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So how does Terra X balance performance, style, comfort, scalability, and especially in a price and convenience driven market, that the fashion industry operates in?
So we had data coming in from credible sources. For example, if you do a market research, you get to know which country is leading the sustainability charge in terms of consumption. We identified the US and the European markets. The reason was that per person per year consumption rates were higher than India.
Okay.
Average selling price was around $85. So we targeted the US market the first, right? They consume roughly 6.5 pairs per person per year.
Per person per. Okay.
Yes, and average price hovers between $55 and $85. That's a sweet price point. Right? So this is where we targeted, right? And we made a shoe which had 20 features and benefits. It is 95% bio-based, and retail price was $69 during the pre-launch phase, which actually gave us a very good bump in terms of revenue. So customers actually booked the shoes before they were produced.
Okay.
So bring in additional capital to the company and letting us do what we were prepared to do in the next in the next phase. Yes.
Right.
In terms of scaling it in sustainable fashion, I think once we go ahead and do volume products, for example, school shoes or slippers and sandals, this will be available at a price point which everybody can go ahead and buy it.
Right.
So sub 1,500 price points. And why? Because we also believe that sustainability should not attract too much premium.
Correct.
Because if you sell less, you make a less impact overall in the ecosystem, right?
Right.
The more you sell, the more better it is.
The more.
So you are taking off or offsetting carbon dioxide. You're offsetting all the polyester
shoes.
Used.
Correct.
So we want to bring it to a level where everybody and all the customers should be saying, yes, this is the right price point for a particular feature and benefits.
Correct.
And go and buy it.
Right. Since we're on the topic of sustainability,
yes.
So what does sustainability mean to you beyond materials, right?
Yes.
So in processes, culture,
yes,
and any business decision that you take,
yes,
in the company.
See, if I differentiate or bifurcate the whole business, you have a design development, you have the raw material sourcing, you have the production capabilities, you have the marketing team, which does the marketing of the products, e-commerce. Then you have supply chain logistics and you have warehousing. Now we look into which three brackets, let's say, pollutes the most, right? You have production, you have raw material sourcing, and you have the supply chain logistics when you go and supply the product. So what we are doing currently is we are using a third-party vendors to identify which operation actually emits the most, greenhouse gases, and we are trying to optimize the whole level so that whatever power is being utilized in those facilities, it is driven through, your either by solar power or by wind power,
right?
So that we cut those emissions as well, right? Plus, we are also now targeting to offset or calculate the number of pairs being sold. Versus if you are selling a generic footwear,
right?
What is the offset limits, right? And in general, we're also involved, let's say, for example, with plantation of trees against the number of pairs being sold, and we have gone to a level in design where even our labels, the shoe tags, it comes with plantable seeds that you can basically just plant it.
Right.
So that shoebox can actually convert into a small pot.
Right.
Yes.
So it's a whole ecosystem sort of thing that you've developed within the shoe itself, right?
Absolutely.
The shoe will, as you mentioned, be degraded in 18 odd years, and then the shoebox will convert into a pot, and then the tag itself has seeds in it.
Yes.
So it's a whole ecosystem in itself, right?
Yes.
That's amazing. The global fashion and textile market, as we all know, is very vast and diverse, right? And then there are a lot of diverse needs of customers across various continents, across various nations as well, right?
Yes.
So even in India, we'll say the northern part has different expectations, the southern part has different, as do the western and the eastern part. What has been your approach to customer education and creating demand for sustainable products, right? How did you approach that problem?
See, I mean, during COVID times, if you look into and search into Google Trends, that's what we did to start. There was a jump of 580% plus.
Okay.
Month on month for people searching for
Sustainable.
bio-based or sustainable fashion.
Right.
One of the key markers.
Right.
But we were seeing that was not converting into newer brands that are taking that approach. Right. First thing is to launch a product into the market. It is a cash guzzling kind of machine. Right. The more you put and the more burn it happens. This is why we went with this pre-launch, stage. Now, in a pre-launch phase, what happens is you have a customer who is already willing to pay you before, right? This means the awareness is there. So out of roughly 2,000 customers that we, were the early adopters who gave us, let's say, data on why they were backing us. They were buying Nikes, Adidas, Allbirds, Patagonia.
Right.
But why they wanted to give us, let's say, a tryout was because we bought performance to natural materials.
Correct.
Right. And they were keen on experiencing the features. Right. So, to make a customer understand for money being paid, I think he can absolutely count on tangible points. For example, if I'm paying $69, how long it is going to sustain or not break away, or what kind of durability it is.
Right.
Intangible, you have all the design elements, the color elements, the aesthetics, XYZ. So the customers that we currently have, they are not the ones who are replacing their current
Needs.
What they're doing is they're buying 6.5 pairs already. So they're replacing their one pair and buying our shoes.
Right.
So we went to the customers who already had awareness. Right. In countries like India and UAE, we are going with this school shoes. It takes a different turn.
Right.
What we explain to them is that the parents, they want to provide their kids something which is organic. What if the shoe also is made from organic materials?
Correct.
It looks like your leather, performs like leather. We are not saying it's a leather, right? Because it's a fabric. What we're doing is a fabric shoe. But it looks and performs. We're not also saying that leather is bad or good. But we have a fabric which is made from plants. If you want to go ahead and use it, you are most welcome to use it. Because if you see how the industry has evolved in India, right? We have, and not only in India, overseas, leather is a byproduct of meat consumption. Right?
Correct.
But there is enough demand in the market that we can actually make a plant-based fabric and replace the ones which is currently being consumed by polyester or fossil fuel-based materials. So I think if both the sectors can be balanced, I think we still can create a good market out of it.
So balance is the key.
Absolutely, yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
Even in the shoe also, balance is the key.
Absolutely, yes, it is.
Right. What has been the most surprising customer insight that you have received while building Terra X?
The US customers, they were very open to go ahead and experience or let themselves test a new brand.
Okay.
As compared to somebody in India or in Asia Pacific region. The reason is that the customers based out of US and Europe, they also went behind the scenes and understanding the data.
Okay.
So the pages where we reflect our test reports are being seen by the customers based in US and Europe the most.
Okay.
While in Asia Pacific, it's the least.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
So if you see how it actually pans out, it depends upon a particular customer group on what they're trying to achieve out of this.
Correct.
Is somebody paying you already in advance and waiting for 8 months for the shoe to be delivered? Right. It means they are open to test out, and they really feel and care for planet. And they also want a good pair of footwear.
Right.
Right. So you basically have to match your traits of the brand or let's say, or the product with the right USP and reach the right customer who has similar needs. If the needs meet demands, then you have a sales out of it.
Exactly. So understanding the customer and what they want is
Absolutely, yes.
key, and then building upon it.
And also from pre-launch, we had a lot of feedbacks. For example, we thought the white would sell the most in colors, but it was the red color.
Oh,
right. So there were different kind of feedbacks.
Right.
And once you have your early adopters, the initial 1.5 to 2,000 customers, you get to know exactly what they are perceiving your brand to be.
Okay.
See, there are two aspects of it. What you want to project and what the customer is seeing, it, right? Sometimes there's a gap.
Right.
And the lesser the gap is, the more the sales are.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. Right. And coming to, as you mentioned, red was the most surprising thing.
Just a color.
Right. What sort of pigment, or how did you come up with the, how did you dye the shoe, if I may put it that way?
See, they are different bio-based dyes.
Right.
You only have to rely to the right partners, because we cannot be doing everything which engages, let's say, for example, chemical dyeing or bio-based dyes, or let's say, what we do is we have the recipe from where we convert the raw materials to a fabric.
Okay.
Right. Then you have partners like Continental, like Brestchem, like Lenzing, like ZQ, who are already masters of what they're doing, right? Because they have been in the industry for much more longer time than we are.
Okay.
Right? So what you do is you basically take the recipe from there that can mix and match to your recipe, and you go ahead and do it. So even though there are like millions of colors, we particularly stretch to some colors.
Okay.
Black, brown, tan, let's say paprika,
Okay.
olive, denim, colors which are as nearer to the nature,
Right.
as compared to something which is fluorescent, which will definitely need a chemical dye.
Right.
You won't be doing that. Yes.
Okay.
So there are some limitations in the colors.
Obviously, fluorescent is something that you can't find in nature, and then being a shoe that is driven from nature, it would be very difficult to get that color into the shoe. Right.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. So since we were on the topic of data, and you mentioned it in your previous answer as well, and data is slightly correlated with technology, as we all know. So how do you see technology, be it AI, material science, innovation, supply chain, shaping the future of eco-fashion?
See, I think definitely if you think about creating a design, prototyping it, it will involve costs.
Right.
Where we are thinking to use AI is basically to see the color renderings. How fast we can do color rendering, send to customers for their initial feedback. So it will cut the time, right, from making an actual prototype and seeing it. So for example, if you are doing 20 colorways, bring it to 10, ultimately you end up launching 5 colorways, right? So that's definitely going to help. Second would be your customer engagement, right? We can basically implement that into looking, where and how we are engaging with the customers. And similarly in supply chain and logistics, we already are implementing one where customers can get live, let's say, feedback or live data on what stage their shoe is if they are ordering a pre-order. Okay. So you will get to know if it is in cutting or in a closing or a stitching or a lasting or a finishing. You can get to know that.
Okay. So
end to end, we can give you a feedback on it.
Right.
Apart from that, shoe is completely labor intensive industry.
Correct.
So we'll have to have some sort of manufacturing that happens through human hands, and this is what the beauty of the whole footwear is.
Right.
You have that human connection with manufacturing.
Correct.
But also, in our own website, the segments or the sections that we can change, it happens quite fast now.
Okay.
We don't have to rely on external coding to be done. It can be done now in-house. So, of course, we are implementing that. But given the kind of scale we are currently, I think it will be another 1.5 years before we'll be fully integrating the AI into the systems.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay. Now a little more towards your journey and your maybe advice that you would give to other entrepreneurs. So what advice would you give founders building in quote unquote difficult or understood markets like sustainable fashion?
I think first thing is to understand that building a product itself is quite challenging.
Right.
And doing something which never existed. We all talk about how we move from 0 to 1, and then from 1 to n it becomes easier for everybody. It's like creating something which you don't know if there will be a demand or not, right? So it is walking into unknown, right?
Right.
But it becomes easier if you are bringing in your previous experiences, right? So we used to sort leather day in, day out, right, in a tannery. So we exactly knew how the leather will touch, how it will feel,
right,
what kind of properties it should have. That can be made into a shoe, right? Similarly, we took that features of that product and moved into a material that we made, right? Anybody who wants to come and work into this, I think you have to first work on the initial design principles.
Okay.
Which means a product at any point of time should give you some kind of features or benefits that actually belongs to you, or something a very unique, thing that combines which nobody has.
Right.
Think it like this. For example, if you're launching a new shoe brand, it looks like some other shoe brand already existing in the market, and think it from a person who's doing the sales.
Okay.
What would be the key differentiator if there's no other USP other than design and price? So you have money, you are basically spreading it to attract more customers. What if the day the money runs out? You'll be ending up with thousands of inventories, right? So I always take example from automobile industry, right? You look into, let's say, Ferrari, or you look into Lamborghini, right?
Right.
What they have done is they have done things year after year.
Correct.
Same things. On Formula One, you got Le Mans. So you're trying to build a brand. Building a brand cannot be done in 6 months.
Correct. It takes time.
Just because you have money, you cannot call a label a brand.
Right.
A brand should have a recognition, association.
Correct.
And you want to be a part of it.
Exactly.
Similarly to what Royal Enfield does, right? So if you're riding a bullet, you're riding a bullet, right? Riding a Ferrari, you're riding a Ferrari.
Correct.
Right? There are customers who are wearing Patagonia t-shirts. Everybody wants to have Patagonia t-shirts.
Patagonia t-shirts or their sleeveless jacket. So they're synonymous with that.
Absolutely correct.
Right.
So you're trying to build a brand.
Correct.
Right. But if you're building a brand, it should have a very clear stylistic codes. Something, even if I don't put a Terra X on the shoe, it should be identifiable.
Correct.
If you're able to do that, then you're able to build a brand behind it.
Right.
So if you put, let's say, 500 styles and you put it on discount, go and fight on Amazon, on Flipkart, on Myntra, of course you have sales. But those brands, they hit the plateau. They don't go like what Nike has done, a $50 billion shoe company, right? Because every year they file roughly 200 plus patents, and it's ingenious in what they're doing in terms of their platform, right? So anybody who wants to come and create, if they're trying to make money out of it on the first day of making a product and by selling it,
right,
I think it's going to be a cash guzzling machine for sure. Yes.
Right. So you correctly mentioned that your brand should be synonymous with in the category that you're playing in, right? So you think about F1 and the first team that comes into mind is obviously Ferrari, right? And then you talk about like those long bullet rides into the Himalayas. Yes. Bullet and Royal Enfield comes into mind. Sleeveless jackets, obviously Patagonia is the one that you go to, or maybe even North Face for that to a certain extent.
Yes.
Right. Okay, last couple of questions.
Sure.
What is the one mistake you made early on that you are now grateful for?
It was with documentation.
Okay.
And compliances. Initially, when you start, and we were in midst of COVID, right? To bring team together and do a proper flow of documentation, it actually is difficult because design creation, you have so many different templates.
Correct.
That you have to follow so that you don't go ahead and do or repeat a mistake.
Correct.
Right. But creating a design actually is a physical process. You need to have a team sitting in the office,
Correct.
touching and feeling in the colorways, the materials, everything else, right? So, we were incubated at IIM Kozhikode, and they were the one who actually bought that sense of regularity in terms of documentation,
Right.
So yeah, we faltered but we didn't fail to implement the system. But I think for anybody who is starting, be it day zero, I think there should be some time which should be properly documented about, let's say, not just the product, but who is doing what,
Right.
what roles, regulations.
Have a roadmap in a sense.
Absolutely, yes. That helps a lot. And put a timeline behind all the process.
Correct.
Yes.
So like sort of make a wall and then like maybe scribble upon it.
That's
okay,
correct.
day 0 till day 100 or
That's
maybe day 15.
Yes.
I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Next 15 days I'm doing that.
Yes.
Right. That's a great piece of advice. Okay. Last question. Which founder or company inspires you the most as you build Terra X or in general as well?
It should be Steve Jobs.
Oh, right.
I'm a great fan of Steve Jobs.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So
Not because of what he created. Of course, Apple is a giant. But if you think about the place where it started,
correct.
at that time everybody was a garage-based startup, right? But to pick phone and call 100 times to identify that somebody like is a tech genius and utilize it. The way he rallied the team behind it.
Correct.
He was moved out and then again from next he came to Apple.
Came back to Apple, right.
When the company was about to go bankrupt.
Right.
Or going and beating Bill Gates and taking some money out of it because he was his actual arch rival, right?
Right.
To do all those things together.
Correct.
Right. And the fact that when you die, there are millions of people who show up.
Correct.
And pay their tributes.
Exactly.
I think more than a founder, I think he was somebody who created product that people loved.
Correct.
Similar to what Phil Knight did
with Nike.
Or let's say, for example, even if you know Legos, right?
Right.
Kirk did the same thing. So build something that people love.
Correct.
For that, I think yes, Steve Jobs.
So the legacy should outlive the founder in a way, if I may put it. So like create something that outlives you and
founder can always be somebody that even future generations can look into.
Correct.
But I think it's always good to have an enduring legacy.
Legacy, right.
And this keep one thing in place, right? For which everybody remembers you. You can have thousands of traits.
Correct.
But if I look at you, I should have one word in my mind.
Correct.
Either original or genius or integrity.
Exactly.
If you hold with that one, trait that everybody else identifies you with, I think you can build a very good legacy behind you.
Right. Exactly what we have in mind when we think of Apple and maybe even Nike. We all have different words that come into mind, right? So for Apple, we always have innovation.
True.
And for Nike, we always think about victory and the spirit of athleticism.
Aspiration, yes.
Aspiration. Correct.
Absolutely, yes.
Correct. Right. Last question. How do you unwind? Just a simple basic. What's your
it's with plants.
Okay.
So gardening is my hobby.
Okay.
Lot of bonsais. And occasionally, when I get time, generally in the morning, I take a stroll in the park or in a forest area. That helps to reconnect, cut out the noise, and think back to basics.
Right.
Right. What if everything is going wrong, and if I have bare minimum resources,
how
will I still be making it?
Right.
Yes.
Got it. And any particular, maybe since you mentioned Phil Knight and his book, any particular book or genre that you are very fond of?
I was reading 0 to 1.
Okay.
By Thiel, right? I think it gives some very good insights about what first-time founders can look into, right?
Correct.
It helped me a lot also, right? When I was building Terra X, you will have altercations with everybody.
Correct.
But ultimately, you should look at what you are able to achieve basis your experience and your traits. If you are true to your purpose, I think the journey becomes much more easier.
Right. Correct. That was the end of the questions.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ravi, for your time and sharing your journey with us. I'm sure whoever is listening into this podcast will be motivated to build the next best thing. You touched upon technology, new materials, and why is it important to be sustainable. Once again, I thank you for your time and insights.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.